First of all, John, do you think there's been a change in pop music, a change in attitude towards sex?
Well, it was just all metaphors, you know. There was nothing to do with reality in any of the songs. I mean, I'm saying that broadly. I don't know every song that was written, but the image that comes over of the movies and the pop music then was just complete sort of, true romance. Those sort of women's weekly books. It was that kind of stuff.
Would you? You know what I think? I think sex is like shaking hands. So what is shaking hands then? And the reason why people shake hands is, they could always sort of rationalize it, and say, well, I just had to do it because it was a formality or whatever. But you see, deep down in them, they always have this desire of communication, and it's just a form of communication. And you either shake hands or you either kiss or, make love or whatever. But it's all a form of communication, sort of a kind of attempt of doing that, So what is love then? Love is when you understand it so well that you relax finally, And we have that kind of relaxation between us a lot.
Would you say, to come specifically on the pop at the moment, that these records were therefore telling kids to go out and make love? Is
now,
that really? Yeah, well...
I don't think they because the kids were making love anyway. I don't really believe they're that much more randy than they were then. I just think they're open about it. And there's probably less guilt. There still is a lot of guilt about sex. I think the music reflects the state that the society's in. It doesn't suggest the state. I think poets and musicians and artists, or whatever they are of the age, not only do they sort of lead the age on, but they also reflect that age. And I think that's what the pop music is doing. It's mainly reflecting. I mean, like the Beatles, we came out of Liverpool and we reflected our background and we reflected our thoughts in what we sang.
Some people at least are commercialising sex. I mean, you mentioned the press, for instance. There's people using sex for advertising.
I don't see anything wrong with it. People commercialise everything. If we're going to have a commercial society, I think anything goes. I think people commercialise religion too, that's just as sickening to me as commercialising sex. I don't, if we're going to have it, let's have it all.
But you would agree there's some people in the pop world are deliberately selling themselves as sex objects?
Well, so what? That's always been so. I mean, pop is just a sort of, fashionable medium to talk about. But I'm sure there was the equivalent in I don't know what Rudolph Valentino and Greta Garbo were, and I don't know what Veronica Lake was then, or the actors in the old days, or what Shakespeare's plays were. What the hell were they? They were just, people playing the roles of sex objects in some of them. So what about it? It's just part of society. I don't see anything extraordinary about it, or any issue. And pop is just an easy label to attack, the same as youth is, People are just uptight because the kids are having fun, and they didn't have the same freedom because they didn't take it. They just followed the lines laid down by their parents.
Do you think that in new attitudes towards love and relationships, would it be fair to say we're getting away from the property concept of relationships?
Of owning the other person? I think, yeah, we could be, but that's all very well intellectually, but when you actually are in love with somebody, you tend to be jealous and want to own them and possess them 100%, which I do. But intellectually, before that, well, I thought, right, that owning a person is rubbish. But I love Yoko. I want to possess her completely. I don't want to stifle her. That's the danger, is that you want to possess them to death. But
But we're doing all
that's
right
a personal
now. It's just
problem.
very nice, In other words, I think
it's after the beginning when it cools down a bit, not cools down, whatever it is, whatever the word is, then you can allow each other to breathe. At first you tend to strangle each other, I think.
I think we're starting to
because you have so little as a child, I think it is. Once you find it, you want to hang on to it. You grab it so much you tend to kill it.
But would you say on the whole that young people today have got love is very important to young people today.
I think to all people, everybody's continually searching for love, and it manifests itself in many strange ways. Like for Ted Heath, it manifests itself in being number one, you know. But to me, all he really wants is to be loved by everybody. That's why he's in that position, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, basically, because I want love from all those people. But that's just the way it goes. Imagine there's no heaven, diddle-do. It's easy if you try, diddle-do. No hell below us, diddle-do. No sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Whatever. You'll hear the record.
There's an old cliche about progress is about standing on the shoulders of giants, and